What's up, Starcraft fans? Some of you guys have been asking me how I was able to level up Arcturus Mengsk so fast. The process we used was having Abathur hard carry on Brutal Lock and Load. Today, I will show you how to grind Abathur on Lock and Load versus all races, and why Abathur is the strongest commander in the game. The masteries here are full toxicness damage, full symbiote ability improvement, 5 points on toxicness charges, and 25 points on structure morph and evolution rate. So yeah, thank you to Metal and Ravai who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. Thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Our first game is versus Protoss. My ally, Pikai, played as Arcturus Mengsk. So let's get to it. Yeah, he's level 1 Arcturus Mengsk, I believe. So let's put up the production tab. So what I first do is send my Overlord to this corner. It's important that I send it. It's not really important, but it's nice to send this Overlord here versus all 3 races, just in case they get some cloaked units there, such as Swarm Host and Lurkers. Okay, here's what I did. I sent the drone here first. How I know that this is Protoss is if the drone reaches this point without getting shot at, it means there's no siege tank here. If there's a siege tank here, it means the enemy is Terran. And yeah, I'll know it's a siege tank if I get shot at when my drone reaches here. So when it doesn't reach here, when it doesn't get shot at when it crosses this point, and this area is not covered with creep, it goes to show that it's not Terran or Zerg, therefore Protoss. So you can see that I started a Roach Warren. At the very first thing, I did not start a drone first because I will just into this speed run. And yeah, start a Roach Warren first. I start 2 Toxic Nests here. Wait for them to finish. They're some distance apart. But the important thing is I select them both and I switch off autocast. Switching off autocast is important because I want to get all the enemy units right over the toxic nests to detonate at the same time, so as to be efficient with my toxic nest usage. Also, it's because well, the point here is to complete the map as fast as possible, so we want to waste as little time and resources as possible, of course. So after that, I start this Spore Crawler, and then I start a Roach. I rally it over here to let it gather the biomass quickly. I uproot the Spore Crawler, and then I move it over here. Wait for it to drag some of these. Wait for it to drag some of these guys, preferably all of these zealots. Then run it back, right about here, and then I wait. You see, this toxic nest did not detonate early. Allowed these zealots to reach here and this immortal to reach over here. If it detonated too early, they will spawn locusts and probably yeah, not move this immortal over here. Instead, what happened is I was able to detonate this one and all the zealots are now gone. And I was able to detonate this one under the immortal and all the sentries are gone, and this immortal is reduced to 100 health remaining. So I was hoping that the Toxic Nest would respawn under the Immortal, however it didn't, so what I'm planning to do instead is to move this Locust a little further back to try and bait this Immortal to walk on top of this Toxic Nest. And you can see it works. So that was a plan. All I have to do now is send my Roach there. You can see I start an Overlord. Once the Toxic Nests have been detonated, I move my Spore Crawler here. Just to see, by the way, why Spine Crawler and not Spore Crawler? Well, that's because the Spore Crawler builds faster and it's slightly cheaper, I think. Also, it's anti-air if we ever need to fight air, and detection as well. So yeah, lots of advantages to building the Spore Crawler over the Spine. So now I put down exactly 3 Toxic Nests here. 1 forward and 2 at the back. They can be closer far apart, but not too far, I think. Okay. Then I wait for these to, I actually haven't tried placing the Toxic Nests too far apart. I've always tried putting them close together. That works for me. If you can make it work far apart, then more power to you. Alright. Again, I switch off autocast, so I can bait all these dudes. There are Dark Templar here. You have to watch the movement. You have to watch the blur on the minimap to see where the Dark Templar... I think there's one here. Yeah, it's moving right there if you can see it. Yeah, right there. And I use I detonate the forward Toxic Nest to kill all those dudes. I move it over here. I think there's still a Dark Templar over there. First Brutalisk is out very quickly. Now I detonate the Toxic Nest, and the other one detonates on top of that Dark Templar. There's actually another Dark Templar over here. I've now made my second roach, by the way, and now harvesting my gas. I've sent this roach to gather this biomass. I think at this time I still wasn't aware that there were Dark Templar here. So I put that toxins over here in hopes of killing the Dark Templar. There we go. Now it's done. Delete these. Now what happens is I deep tunnel both my Brutalisks here in front of the Celestial Lock that allow me to place toxic nests in this area, and then aggro everything here to my Brutalisks. Now we'll walk them over here while the nests are building. And once they're complete, they will detonate and destroy all those. Remember guys, Abathur's toxic nests yield more biomass per kill than other units, so if you're Abathur, you want to kill as many units as possible in the early game over toxic nests. Or via toxic nests, I guess. See that? That's a lot of biomass. Destroy this carrier. The symbiotes are really incredible here. They do most of the damage and most of the shielding for my Brutalisks. Get it? Throne because he's the Emperor. Throne, hey? Third Brutalisk is out and I start my lair. Now the roach is approaching this biomass to collect that. Okay. I just walk these zealots over here over the toxic nest and that'll finish them off. There's still a stray biomass there. For some reason I wasn't able to get it. I think I might have A-moved everything. Oh well. I start another important thing. A Nidus network is important if you're carrying an ally who does not have instant drop, like Raynor. If you have a Raynor ally, he can just drop marines right on top of you when you assault his base. If you're Tannis, you can warp in. If you're Vorzu, you can Dark Pylon. But some commanders, for example, Swan, unless you can rush out a early Hercules, for example, if you're Tychus, unless you can rush out the medevac platform, he will not be able to join Abathur when he assails this place. Yeah, for example, Alarak. He will not be able to do that. Okay, I'm just resting my Brutalisks over here. I started 2 more roaches. There we go. The third Brutalisk is now making. Now I have 3. And I deep tunnel everything here. I start with the full health. Brutalisk. Click that, deep tunnel here. Then the other 2 deep tunnel slightly behind it because a lot of stuff will aggro onto this front Brutalisk. And now we're trying to pull it back. The enemies will walk over that area and find themselves getting repeatedly destroyed by my toxic nest boys. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that carnage. Via toxic nests. Now I use my Nidus Worm here. I also have 2 roaches in here, by the way. Once it emerges here, my ally will be able to send units that he placed in the Nidus Worm to help cap the locks, which is obviously important to help end the game. But it's also a way to get my roaches here, to get these boys some biomass. There we go. These guys are no backup Brutalisks. They have 100 biomass health, or they have 100 biomass, but they cannot switch into Brutalisks yet because the cap is 3. We can make at most 3 Brutalisks. So in case one of these Brutalisks dies, I'll have another one making right away. Just continue whacking away at these stalkers. Now this hybrid. I tried to make a Nidus Worm here, but Amon destroyed it, which is unfortunate. But I can try again. You can see I lost 2 Brutalisks. I lost all 3 Brutalisks. But the backup Brutalisks have emerged, and now they're very much destroying Amon's dudes. The next Nidus Worm is making. Once that comes out, There was a Dark Templar, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. It walked over. I lured it back to my toxic nests. Okay. And now the Nidus Swarm has completed. My allies' forces are now helping me cap the locks. There we go. And that is basically a game. 8 minutes. Yeah, the enemy will try to send a capture force to the central lock, but I'm gonna make sure that this lock caps before then. Yeah, put some toxicness, why not? But yeah, I placed my Brutalist between the enemy and the lock to prevent them from stopping the capping. There it is. Final time is 8 minutes 43 seconds.
And they're out of here.
There we go. Let's see the score screen. And yeah, you can clearly see that it was definitely a hard carry. It's gonna look like this every game because Abathur is the strongest. He's the one just teleporting everywhere and providing the transport for his ally, and Manx just tries to keep up mostly. Now let's go to the second game. Okay, now we're versus Zerg. Again, I have an Arcturus Manx ally. A different guy, I think, this time. Let's put production tab. And again, I will not start the worker immediately. I set my overload to this spot. And I can immediately tell this is Zerg without even doing the minimap trick, because without even doing the minimap trick, you can see the purple on the locks, and that indicates creep, which means Zerg. I wait for 150 minerals and I start this Roach Warren. You can see that I use my control groups on a lot of my early game stuff. You can already see the creep there. So I make about 4 of these toxic nests, because there are a lot of stuff in the Zerg enemy version of this game. Again, I make sure that these toxic nests are off autocast. There we go, off autocast. Start a Roach. Then uproot, start a couple drones. Now start pulling. There we go. Detonate. Not quite everything. And detonate that. There we go. It's a bit of a mess, but we have to just try to bait everything to these toxic nests. Right, start the Overlord. Send the Roach here to gather the biomass. Or before that, actually, yeah, try to get some more dudes using this Spore Crawler. And just try to get as much as possible. There we go. And now let that Hydros just, stand over the toxic nest as it morphs. Now I have another Roach making and some more drones. And I start a couple of start a couple of gases. And now I teleport this Brutalist to the south lock a little too close. Actually, it's a little too close. It should have been a little further back so I can start these toxic nests and then bait the units here. Yeah, this is definitely a mistake. You can do it better, but yeah, you should teleport a little bit further back, make these toxic nests, then bait these, and remember to switch off autocast. But now I've kind of botched this one, so just have to make do with the best of what I can do. Yeah, not ideal. Not even ideal. I try my best. I'm making another toxic nest. I mean, it worked, but I used more toxicness than I should, really. Okay. I gather these. Gather this last one. There we go. Now I have 2 Brutalisks before 3 minutes. Third Roach is already on the way. Allies trying to destroy, and he does destroy that Zergling. Nice. You finish off that one Spine Crawler.
We must join our allies.
I said to join there. Destroy the last of that thing. I make another toxins over here, just to beat more dudes in here. I mean, yeah, still biomass, so it's still fine. Beat some more dudes. I destroy that. Send this Roach to collect that biomass. A couple more workers. Another extra Roach just in case. There we go, collect that biomass.
A lock has been
Okay.
activated. We must endeavor to keep it
Then intercept this force with my Brutalisks. I'll send this roach to collect less of that biomass. Yeah, it's a game of biomass in the early game for Abathur. Now we wait for the attack wave.
Under attack.
Oh, hear that? There we go. There we go. Alright, now come at me, Zerg. Come at me, enemy Zerg. Those roaches. Again, I switch off autocast. Or should at least. Detonate that and almost all the roaches go down. That's pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. Alright.
Your forces are under attack.
Start the lair. It was admittedly very late.
Another lock has now been activated.
Okay, we have to destroy these locusts. They deal a ton of damage. Okay, pull these guys back.
We cannot claim the objective without our allies.
I use mend. Now I start the
Be scrapped.
overseer. I have a roach here for some reason. You just F2 and A moved everything. But it just goes to show you that it still works even with even though you have that F2 and A disease. Destroy these. There we go. You can still see them now that we have an overseer. Now my ally is running over a trooper here to help capture the lock. It is really all it can do is Mengsk. I mean, aside from, I guess, making some medevacs. Alright, now the last lurker is visible. We can destroy that. Alright. Using the mend. And now start my very late Nidus network. Okay, the yellow one has the most health, so I put it in front when I teleport to the north lock. Or deep tunnel rather. Yeah, deep tunnel here. You can see the red one is at the back to help protect it. And now I move my forces back. Let the enemy walk over here. There we go. You just walk over there. Now that I have the Nidus network in the control group, I start, select and then start the Nidus worm there. Just destroy these dudes here. There we go. Allies putting some laborers in there to help capture the lock, which is good. Now we're just gonna heal up here while capturing the lock. See, it was very late here, so I'm actually forced to defend versus the attack wave. If I were a little bit faster, I wouldn't need to do that. But as it is, we will be able to defend very easily anyway. Since these attack waves are pure ground, so I won't need to worry about anything in the air. Which means my Brutalisk will basically go to town. Oh wait, that is a medevac. The ally did make a medevac, that's nice. Alright. Use another mend. Again, make backup Brutalisks just in case. Now I'm gonna deep tunnel over here. Again, use the healthiest one first, and then the two at the back. Put down some toxic nests. There are Bailings in this base, so I let them detonate on my Brutalisks first before dragging everything to the back. There we go. Because the Bailings will just destroy the toxic nest unnecessarily. Uh-oh. I think I forgot to use the hotkey for my Brutalisks. It's a bit of an oops. Okay. I try to keep these alive for as long as possible. I mean, they will die since they're very low health. But not before taking out as much of the enemy as possible. Or will they even? My ally now has medevacs here, and they are healing my dudes. Yeah, apparently they will just not die. That is also a thing. There's my other roach now. And just in case the enemy just decides to destroy one of my Brutalisks, I have backups. Yeah, I just walk them over here. The game is now won anyway. There we go, 10 minutes. And I think about 40 seconds. Nice.
Swarm controls objective. Outcome expected.
Awesome.
Swarm triumphant. Mutation.
GG.
And they're out of here.
Now let's see the score screen. Again, you can see that there's really not much Mex can do aside from help cap the locks. I mean, 3 is still 3, right? That's good. Alright, now let's proceed to the last game versus Terran. In all honesty, Terran is the worst for Abathur because they have bunkers, they have siege tanks, and all that stuff have firepower that does not provide its worth in biomass. Again, I start the Roach Warren first without any workers. Again, I send the Overlord to this corner, to the east or the west lock. And now, there's a spot here that marks where the siege tank fire. I'm going to move the toxin a little bit further out from that spot to keep it safe from the siege tank. And I put another one close by. Now here's the thing. If the enemy's teared, I'm actually hoping that the creep extends all the way here so that my drone. So that my Spark Crawler will be able to walk a little bit further and draw a little bit more enemies. Oh yeah, a little bit more enemies. So another roach. Okay, the creep is there. I walk up that and then pull back. Oh, it survives. Again, switch off autocast and then destroy all those. Very delicious hit. Right. Then I should start another Overlord now, actually. There we go, there we go. Now it's starting. Alright. Send this here. Use Mend. Okay. Be even more dudes. Okay. Hey, Marauder. I mean, not great, not horrifying. Okay. I try to bait these dudes. Pull them back. I should actually make more drones. A bit late, but hey. I'll start with the roach, that's fine. There we go, now the drones are starting. Okay, now I put down a toxinist right beside the siege tank as the roach attacked beside it. We want the biomass, so we use that toxinist. We waited for that toxinist to complete. Now I start my gases. I start a toxinist on the ramp, and another one up the ramp. Okay, got to that. Make more workers and an overlord. Okay, here's another trick. Switch off autocast first, and then when you walk this roach, you start a toxinist over here. The toxinist will actually aggro these guys to chase my roach. You see watch what happens. If you just walk your roach here, maybe these front reapers will try to chase it, but if you start the toxinist, everything will chase it. Look at that. Well, okay, I guess most things. Still, that's enough to get a Brutalisk, which is what I wanted. Now that I have it, I use it here, drops a toxinist under the hybrid, to help burst him down. I start another one here. Okay, that does deal damage. Okay. Collect this biomass using my other roach. There we go. Again, guys, as I said in my earlier video, power leveling is a double-edged sword. You can get levels really fast, but yeah, you end up not really learning all about the commander as much as you want. Again, I start the toxins here, I pull these back. In hindsight, I should have maybe walked a little bit further to force the siege tank to unsiege. But oh well. Oh well. I destroy these. Right. Sky Terran. Just wonderful. Alright. Destroy these.
This is more crucial than you think.
Alright. Now detunnel here. Start a toss nest right where the Vikings are. Hope that some of them will survive. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Oh well. It's fine. Ally's doing his best to help. He's just starting the medevac healing things. And now he's starting Cloak for the medevacs. While I'm starting my Nidus network. Third Brutalisk is already on the way. The healing is actually pretty nice here. Alright. Now I start walking all the way over here. I put down some of those toxic nests. Walk, my dudes. I try to draw some of these guys.
Mend is now ready.
Okay. That's a little bit too far, I guess. A little bit too far. There we go. Destroy these. I guess that wasn't necessary since I already have 3 Brutalisks, but oh well. Force of habit. I mean, it's a good habit to have anyway. I started another couple of toxic nests right on top of the tanks. There we go. Not sure if it worked. Start another couple roaches and try to rally them to my Nidus network. There we go. Now I send my overlord to capture the lock, so I don't need to send a drone. Alright, again I go to the north lock. For Protoss, I started with the east lock. For both Zerg and Terran, I started at the north lock. Alright, bunker versus bunker. Who will win? You can see again, the Valley is switching off the autocast. All these dudes that's standing under there just died to the same toxic nest. Yeah, just let him stand over there. See, the Brutalists are still alive actually. Alright. Yeah, put that in control group and start the Nidus Worm. Try not to lose it. Although the hybrid is very intent on taking it out. It's a bit unfortunate. Hey, you can always make more. I am floating a bit of resources. You notice, by the way, that during all 3 runs, you don't take your expansion. And that is another thing that's unintuitive about Abathur. If you're a 1v1 player, you're used to gaining power by getting your expansion up faster. Abathur operates differently. You gain power by getting more biomass. You rush out your biomass. That's really how you gain power as Abathur. If you take your expansion early as Abathur, believe it or not, you are slowing yourself down. Which is why if you need a priority, if you need to prioritize as Abathur, prioritize biomass, not the economy. Go. Ooh, guy's overloading. Oof. Well, my ally sort of lost his dude, but hey. He can send more through my Nidus Worm. Okay, now I send these here. Again, start these toxic nests under my Brutalisks. Let the enemy walk over, then detonate. Okay, detonate. There we go. Down they go. Oh, I gotta destroy this hybrid. It's gonna deal a ton of damage. Okay, lost one. Wait, I didn't lose one. Never mind. Okay, still alive. Yeah, keep destroying these. Nidus Worm is out. Alright, just try to destroy these as much as possible. Okay. Okay, just capture this last lock. There we go. Activating. Yeah, stand this one Brutalisk over here. You can send these other 2 on their merry way, destroying Amon's army. But yeah, this is basically done for all 3 races. Again, for Protoss, start here, then get the biomass from the Stalkers and Colossus and the Sentry and the Dark Templar here, and then move here, then here, then here. For Zerg and Terran, or for Zerg, start here, or start here, then go here. Try to put these toxins over here, then draw them back, detonate. Then once you get your Brutalisks, get over here, destroy this. If you can get over here, that's better. And then move here, try to capture this lock. By then you should have the Nidus Worm, and finally move here. For Terran, start here. Hope the creep extends over all the way here, and then finish up your Brutalisk by baiting these guys here. Then I remember to use a baiting Tox Nest to try to pull up more dudes, and then teleport over here, or deep tunnel I guess. Then Tox Nest, lure them under, and destroy the remainder. Then send your 3rd roach here, gather biomass, and then attack here, and then north, and then east. There it is. All 3 races done, and just rinse and repeat. Just rinse and repeat. This is 3 games, but the time I took to record is basically one game. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for an LCD, please leave that in a comment. Now let's see the score screen. And yeah, he got more. He got 6 this time, but still, you can clearly see who's doing all the work here. Abathur is gonna hard carry anyone on this map. Alright, see you.